you guys doing today? Um, I just want to talk about a little bit about God today, or actually a lot about God. Like stuff that has happened to me, my experiences with God, and I'll talk about other things that I've heard from other people. But right now, I wanted to say, like for example, like God has always been, with me. You know, I felt him before, but one of the things that I wanted to say was like, for instance, one time I was riding one of these motorcycles, these three wheelers, I was going on a dirt road, like top speed, the fastest the motorcycle would go, going down a hill, like downhill, a dirt road, and out of nowhere, I lost control of the motorcycle, and I like fell off the motorcycle, but I crashed the motorcycle and I was flying in the air like this. I was probably like 15 feet up in the air flying, and you know, I didn't know what was happening. I was just in the air, and then when I landed on my feet, and I started sliding, and I started slowing down, and I just started rolling. Then I fell and rolled. Not, Nothing happened to me because I feel that God protected me from that situation. That was like a miracle for me because I just had a few scratches, but nothing serious. No, I felt no pain, nothing else. It was just a miracle because I was going very fast, and I don't understand how I lived through that, or at least like none of my bones were broken or anything. You know, that's one thing. Yes, I wanted to tell you guys about this time when me and my son, my older son, were going up to a baseball tryout up in, I believe it was Pennsylvania, or with the Brewers and or with the Phillies. I don't remember who it was with, but we were. I was going through a bad situation back then, and uh, I started reading the Bible, you know, because I needed God with me because I was really going through like really bad pains, and stuff. And so I was reading the Bible for 3 days, and we were traveling to Nebraska, I believe, or Oklahoma, one of those two cities. I don't remember. So my son was driving. He was going like 80 miles an hour, and I was in the passenger side, and I just kept reading the proverbs from the Bible for 3 days, and my son was speeding, and the police stopped, pulled us over. We had California plates. If you guys know about that, police always pull over California people. And so anyways, we got pulled over, and I was in the passenger side, so the police came to my side, and he looked at me, and he saw me that I was reading, and he got scared. He jumped back, and he went into his car and left. And I thought that was weird. Like, what happened? What did he see, or what? I couldn't explain it, but he didn't ask us for the registration, for the driver's license, nothing. He just left. So we went on our way too, and I thought it was strange, but I was feeling very like, I don't know, golly, like, and so when we kept driving, and when we stopped at the hotel, God was giving me dreams. He was giving me dreams of situations that were happening that I didn't know what was happening, but he told me what was happening through the dreams. That's how I was aware of situations that were happening. I don't really want to get into like too much detail with that, but that's just testimony of the power that you start getting with God. So I was still like skeptical, about what's going on. So before we left on this trip, I got a ticket, a traffic ticket here in San Diego, And so by the time I got back, I had to pay the ticket, But I asked God, I told him, okay, God, if this is real, you know, when I go pay my ticket, I wanted them to dismiss it, So I went to the courthouse and I was in line. By the time I got, to the window, I remember the guy said, "Oh, your ticket's been dismissed." And I was like, "Whoa!" I just like freaked out, because that's power, that's miracle for me, And I was just like in shock, like that happened to me. So I knew that was something like really good. But I did a mistake, you know. I did a mistake on not keeping up with this word, getting distracted with ladies, women, that, you know, they pull you away from God. I mean, not all of them, some of them. And that's where I made a mistake, I made a mistake and I started falling back, to the life that I wasn't supposed to. I started like going away from God, and my life started getting difficult, you know. And we have to learn the hard way. We have to learn the hard way, you know. And yeah, and this other time I was driving on the freeway. I was going, pretty fast, and there was a trailer on this side, on my right side. I was on the left side, and I was trying to speed up and cut him off, but on the other side I couldn't see, and then I felt something like pull me back, like hold me, telling me not to do it. And then when I sped up a little bit, but I didn't do it, I seen another car jump into the other lane from the right side. So if I would have went, we would have like smashed each other and would have got a big collision. It wouldn't have been good because we were going like 80 miles or something. And that's one of the things too that I felt that it was God pulling me back from not doing that. Uh, and you know, it's like when I'm working, like I've been building houses, and I do foundation, everything. And I feel like when I'm in the excavators and the machines, I feel like because I'm always talking to God, I'm always asking Him to help me because what I do is a lot of hard, stress work, a lot of hard, intensive labor, and I could feel something moving my hands, like because I'm not even thinking of what I'm doing. I'm just working, and the machine is kind of like sometimes moving itself, and things like that, like those kind of testimonies, it's just God's power, God's guidance, just things that God talks to me through, these situations, stuff. And um, for instance, like when you have bad feelings, you sense stuff, like that's God telling you to don't do it, be careful, um, that's why I um, tell I want to talk about this because you need to know when God's talking to you, when He's telling you, what, stay away from this relationship, this relationship's not good for you, and you ignore it, and then you go through a toxic time, you waste years out of your life, and they're gone. You went through a relationship toxic, and you wasted all your years, a lot of years, when you could have been with another person that God wanted you to be with, happy, just prospering, moving ahead in your life. You know, that those are all like testimonies, that happened to me before. There was another situation when we were also going to another baseball tryout, and I would pray a lot of, angel prayers and, God things. And over there back east, people are very holy, they believe in God a lot and stuff. And so we were at the hotel that night, it was probably like 3 a.m. It was really dark, and I like kind of woke up a little bit, and I seen this big old, humongous, beautiful white angel, big angel in front of my bed, and he disappeared so fast, quick, like faster than the blink of an eye, like quick. He left, but he was standing in front of my bed, like I felt he was guarding me, protecting me. It was so amazing, to see that, and just see all these things that are, you know, really cool, really nice, that it just makes me feel really, really good, God's talked to me before in dreams, he's gave me visions, he tells me like that all his people are gonna be okay. They're gonna be protected. He'll protect them. You know. Um, Also, one time, um, I was in this relationship and we were arguing, fighting. And we were going we were getting off the freeway, off ramp, and the car hit us from behind. The kid fell asleep, and he hit us, like 60 miles an hour or more, you know, top, and he just rear-ended us, and and like I was losing control of the car because the car that hit us was under our car, so I couldn't brake. The brakes were not braking, so he was pushing us all down this hill off ramp. So luckily, I turned the wheel and I slammed myself into the mountain. And that's how I was able to stop the car, because if not, I was gonna run into a lot of other traffic that was stopped down the hill. And when that happened, I just felt a big old hit, and my head hit in the seat, and I felt a big old pop here in my side, and it was hurting a lot. It felt like a grenade exploded inside of me, and I had this pain here, and I knew, those situations when you know that you might not make it out of this one because of the way you're feeling, and I was like just worried, like they say, you see all your life, you know, ahead of you or something, and then I felt like a lot of pain, and then it was kind of weird because out of nowhere the pain went away, like, you know, I can't explain that. I can't explain how it happened, but I was just like freaked out, like not freaked out, but amazed. You know, I know it was God. I know it's God. I know it's God, and yeah, I just had like backaches and headaches for like a few months, but the thing that I felt here that was very dangerous, that went away like fast, and I was just surprised, of how God works, and what He does and things like that. And that's all I wanted to say. So, like another testimony that I had was like, God gives me like visions, and because I'm like a visionary, I see visions, and um, so I was like upstairs, like making some music, and I was tired that day, and I there was two chairs there, so I decided to lay on the chairs, and then I closed my eyes, and when I closed my eyes, I saw Jesus putting his hands like this on top of me. I was right here, and Jesus, I could see his hands like this, but I could see the top of his palms. not the bottom. And I just thought it was so nice, so cool. I got so happy because I couldn't explain how I was looking at the top of his palms, and I would just see his hands like this, and I know it was the hands of Jesus, and I was like really like excited and happy, and I knew that it was like a real good thing for me to see that because I don't know if like many people have seen stuff like this before, and like if I seen that, I'm just like honored and privileged, to see these kind of things, you know, um, and that's I'm just trying to share this with you. I heard God's voice, when I was feeling really like sad, because I couldn't see my kids, um, my little ones. I couldn't see them, and I was going through a bad situation, and I would talk to God all the time, and he gave me, I could hear his voice, and it just like tripped me out, like, because I wasn't expecting to hear that, and other dreams that I've asked him, that he's answered me, and it's just really nice. It's just really nice to know that he really does communicate with you, and how do you call it? He answers you what you want, you know. It's amazing. That's why I never want to be without having him with me, relationship with me, because it's just amazing. It's just amazing, the kind of things that he does, like some other times, like you get into a bunch of stuff, you forget about his, power, his goodness, his glory, everything, and you start, I don't know, doing things you shouldn't do, like for instance, I went to a psychic reading once, and um, that messed me up big time, messed me up big time, and I don't know, I think I opened up doors for demons or evil spirits, and you know, like it scared me a lot because I was how do you call it? I was hurting. Something weird was happening to me inside, and I had this pain that I couldn't get rid of, and I promised God, and I asked him, to forgive me, to heal me, that I would never do this again, and it was just so weird because like I thought he wasn't listening to me, because I did this, and it was just weird because I had it for like 3 days, and after the like third day it went away. So I was like so happy and never do none of that stuff again, because it don't feel good. It's messed up, and those are some testimonies of mine, but I want to share some other ones from that I've heard from other people. You know, like for instance, in Africa, there was like I think it was like the North and the East people. They would for years killing each other, families killing each other and stuff. And some people from here, from San Diego, went over there to preach the God, word of God and stuff, and the power of God. They joined them together and they forgave each other, and everyone was eating each other. People like that would kill their family members. They were eating together. And I've never seen nothing like this, but with God, everything is possible, and He's the only one that could change people and do miracles like this, you know. And then another time, this other guy, I believe was in Africa too. He was a pastor. And God wanted him to go to Africa to, pastor or teach the word of God to the people. And some bad guys didn't want him to, what do you call it, to preach, to talk about God. So they start shooting him. And they started shooting him. And the bullets would just bounce off of him. They wouldn't penetrate, I didn't see these things. I've heard of them, but I believe them because it's just it shows you how powerful God is, and He protects His people. That are with them. I've heard many stories, many miracles, and it just makes me feel really good because like a lot of people have different testimonies about things that have happened to them, and how people could see like Jesus, and it's amazing, because it's all in the Bible, but when you hear people telling you similar situations that you've experienced, you get kind of glad, and happy because you've experienced them, and you're not the only one that has experienced them. Like for instance, another time I was in church, and the pastor said, I had just gotten out of a relationship, and I was feeling very sad and just messed up, and he said if you guys want to come to the front, the men come to the front to, to like, to pray for you, so your relationships would be good or whatever. And so me and my son went to the front, and then I put my hand on the altar, on the stage there, and I was like praying, and then I could feel something inside of me just shaking. It was shaking me really bad, like I wasn't shaking. Someone was shaking me like really hard, and I thought everyone was looking at me, but I didn't care, So like by the time I was done and I looked, no one was looking at me, and it was just really weird because I feel like I got liberated from some kind of witchcraft or something that they did to me. I'm not gonna say that happened, but it felt like it, It felt like it, and that's what I'm trying to say. People don't really know that they have that stuff inside of them because you don't even realize it, like you think there's nothing wrong with you. You think like demons don't go on you, spirits don't go on you, that's another thing, that I used to get attacks, I used to get attacked. I don't know what was happening, but I would get attacked, and I would freak out, and it was something very strong that, would kind of like grab me and suffocate me, and I couldn't breathe, I couldn't talk, I couldn't even move. It was like that, kind of like the paralysis, but I was always able to throw them off of me, but I would battle hard with that, whatever that thing was, and I just started, praying more, and but by that time I was kind of like uh, staying away more from God, and stuff, and it was just crazy, testimonies that I tell you people, that it's real. All this is real, and whoever's going through things like me and stuff, you need to, give yourself to God, to the Lord, to Jesus, because with God and the protection, no one can mess with you, it's like you have their power. I mean, you're protected by them. You know, demons, spirits, nothing will be able to mess with you, to get inside of you, to distract you, to hurt you, to give you misery. None of that. It's like you're a child of the Most High God. And He protects His kids. And I mean, we need to know these things. Because we need to be able to have weapons. Like we have weapons that we don't know how to use them because no one teaches us about these weapons. That we have. I'm talking about spiritually. You know, um, and we have God. That's the best thing. We could have. And um, yeah, man, there's a lot of crazy stuff in this world. That we don't even know. We don't understand. We don't even know that, like, bad things get into you. You open doors. Just by even looking at demon movies. All that stuff. You open doors. And just a lot of things that people don't know. Like the music you listen to. You know, all that stuff. It just like hypnotizes you, and like you don't even know what's happening. You know what I'm saying? So, but when God gives you wisdom, all that stuff you pick up right away, and you start getting rid of it, all that stuff. Like all these tarot cards. All these necklaces, these charms, these stuff for luckiness, protection, all that stuff. It's no good. The sage, everything, you need to get rid of all that stuff, throw it away, and ask God to give you guidance, protection, serve God. You know, it's like it's not cool going to hell. It's not cool. It's like I heard they beat you down there for eternity. You yell for eternity. His misery is messed up. That's what I heard here. And stuff. And we don't want to go there. We want to be with God. In heaven. With our Father. Just serving Him. Like just living a beautiful life. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much right now what I want to tell you people, guys. And so if you, I'll make some more podcasts and I'll share more testimonies from other people, and I'll probably get some people if they want to share their um, testimony or the relationship with God or how God's changed their life. You know, we'll do all that, and sometime in the future. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye.